On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
And how is everybody doing on this overcast Thursday in northwest Arkansas? You want to look out the window there? Let me know.
Partly cloudy.
In the valley. Partly cloudy down there by the fort.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs?
No meatballs will be thrown at you. I don't have any plans for that for lunch or dinner today. Great day to be alive. Great day to be a Razorback as we close out the month of September. You don't have to play the Earth, Wind, and Fire. Don't worry about it. I don't know any October songs, at least off the top of my head. What's the first?
Wake me up when that's Wake Me Up when September ends.
When September ends. So November Rain.
So technically, we can play that tomorrow because we can wake everybody up because September has ended.
We need an October song because tomorrow's the start. We need an October song. It's got to have the word October in the title.
Okay.
Amy Winehouse has a song called October Song.
On the one album? All right. Well,
she only had one album.
There's a Thomas Rhett song. It's not in the title, but it starts off. It was the 14th of October. Like that's the first line of the song.
It's got to be in the title, though, Drew. It's not just the first lyric of the song. Little did we know that's what we're searching for the next 2 hours.
What's your favorite October song?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of a random question, wouldn't it be?
It would be.
There's got to be a song.
There's got to be one good October.
I just
October
think more about
there.
like Halloween songs, you know.
Well,
like
you can go
Werewolves
and play
of London or anything like that.
You can play the Halloween theme for the next 30 days if you want to. I mean, why not? They're making another movie.
That's
it's already
right.
come out, right?
No, it comes out, I believe, on the 15th, and it's going to be on Peacock the same time as theaters.
Very good. Very good.
Are y'all the watch a Halloween movie every day of October type of people?
Oh yes, I get all
like
into
you know,
Yep.
like some people are like that for Christmas, where they have to have the Christmas music and the Christmas movies and cookies like from December 1st to Christmas. Are y'all that way with Halloween?
Every day, but last year I watched all of the Friday the 13th movies.
Mm-hmm.
I know a couple of people that have kept up their Halloween decorations all year long. I don't know if they meant to.
I don't think they meant to.
They're still up. But, hey, I mean, September, we went into the month of September, with the thoughts of the song, the Earth, Wind, and Fire song. And it turned into a pretty damn good month.
It was a great month.
For Razorback Athletics. It really has been. And it seems that's, the theme for the last year in Arkansas athletics has been, isn't everything awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't everything awesome? You got all these programs that aren't just pointed in the right direction, but are winning on the field and advancing far into postseason tournaments, SEC championships coming every which way but up. Did I see a tweet the other day, a couple of days ago, that they're like every program on campus outside of volleyball has been ranked in the top 10 at some point.
And volleyball doesn't have a losing record. I think they're like 10-4.
Well, there's always been the but. There's always been the but, and the but has been football, which has been. There was a bit of a turnaround last year, abysmal for 3 years before that, and mediocre, for most of the last decade at best, mediocre. So there was always that but. Now you've got the darlings of college football here, 4-0, ranked 8th, 2 biggest wins so far. If you add together the victories the teams have had, probably no team has had 2 bigger wins than Texas and Texas A&M. Now you are on game day and in Athens this more than anything, it's an opportunity. You always have to look at the ability to play against, whatever you want to call it, blue blood, national title contender, number one.
The top 5 program.
Behemoth, bully.
Right.
It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to go do something incredibly special. I was so impressed with an answer that I heard yesterday from Trey Williams, who, of course, was last week's player of the week.
Yeah.
Defensively, 2 sacks, and has made a huge difference in this rush attack, in this pass rush. But there's something about the way that he put it to me that sounds perfect about what this game on Saturday is all about. And it has nothing to do with scheme. It has nothing to do with what you are as an athlete. It has everything to do with being in the moment.
Have a chance for success is just live in the moment. It's going to be in a really nice environment. It's going to be loud. Soak it in. Don't be afraid of it. You know what I'm saying? Go to it. Live in the moment, and just realize that this is a big moment, but don't psych yourself out. Don't get over-aroused with it. Just stay even keel, focus on your keys, do your assignment, do your job, and you'll come out with a win.
Some of the focus, Drew and Maddie, has been about, I remember asking, I think, Clay about it yesterday. You haven't had this many people attend a Razorback road game since LSU 2019, over 100,000 at that game. You're going to have 92,000 screaming mad Georgia fans at this game. And the whole thought is, it's supposed to be an intimidating atmosphere, right? It's supposed to intimidate the opponent. Doesn't sound like Trey Williams is going to be walking into that stadium intimidated. He's taken that and turned it around and has created this. He hasn't created this idea, but in his mind, this is the opportunity of a lifetime. You can imagine what would happen to Trey Williams, just individually here, moving forward, if he goes out and has the same kind of game or anything close to the kind of game he had against A&M, against Georgia. That means a lot for this team this year, for him.
He's moving up draft boards.
That's moving up draft boards. That's exactly right.
That's moving
this is
up
an
money.
Opportunity. This is an opportunity.
Money. Yeah, it's a huge opportunity, not just for, like we talked about with Trey Williams and a lot of other people. I don't know how much higher Traylon Burks can get on a draft board. He's already mid-first round. Now, I guess you could maybe break into the top 10 with a incredible performance this week and keeping that going throughout the rest of the season. But for the team, to talk about getting a top 10 win, something that not everybody does every year, and ultimately it's not something a lot of people really get a shot to do, and it's not a thing a lot of people get a realistic shot to possibly pull off the upset. I'm not ready to sit here and say, Arkansas is going to win and going to blow the doors off of Georgia and really stamp their place in the 2021 season. But they're going to hang in there. I don't think anybody is predicting them to get blown out of the water. I don't think anybody is predicting them to be, when it's the final buzzer goes off, 62-0 like Vandy. This is going to be a good game. There's a reason College Game Day picked it. There's a reason Fowler and Herbstreit will be calling the game at high noon at Atlanta time and in Athens. This is going to be one of the best games in the season, I think, if it lives up to the projection that it has right now.
Well, and the spotlight has been bigger with each weekend. The opponent has been better, with each of these now 3 big games that you're playing, and not once has Arkansas looked like they were
outmatched,
too small for the moment. The moment sometimes can make an athlete shrink or can make an athlete rise to the occasion. They have risen to the occasion big time in both of these last 2 games. Now, they still may rise to the occasion and play well, but not win. It's because I think this is a really good team you're going up against in their own building. We've already been through the idea of the athletes they have and the 5 stars and all of that, but it's just also a program. And I know A&M was too. What do they have, 11 straight wins? Does Georgia have something like that as well, 11 straight? So these are programs that know how to win games. It's baked into their culture, in a sense now. And, Arkansas's got this 4-0 start. So, the oven is on, got the recipe, and you're trying to bake that cake. Still, you could play really well and not win against a team like Georgia. That's just a fact.
You really could. And to think of the projection that this team has been on. Yeah, you beat Texas, but you're like, okay, that's a big moment, and it's at home. All right, the next big matchup, Texas A&M. You won. It's a neutral site. It's not as easy to win at a neutral site as it at home, and now you're on the road. So you've kind of been able to take this step up, as far as how people and how national media will view these wins. At home, great win, but it was at home. What can you do when you don't have 70,000 plus behind you? Neutral site, okay, more 50-50. Now 92,000 screaming, shoulder pad wearing, red face Georgians on your back for 60 minutes. If you're able to pull it off and do what you did in the first two games that I just mentioned, I don't think that anybody can deny that this team and this coaching staff is legit.
All right, so September's been outstanding for football, and hopefully you continue to carry that momentum moving forward into October. The month ends, though, I don't know what will happen today, but the month ends for basketball with one of the biggest commitments in the program's history, if you believe what you're reading, with this commitment of Nick Smith Jr. From North Little Rock High School. He's out of Sylvan Hills and made the announcement yesterday. And so that momentum for basketball just continues moving forward. Now you've got, according to 24/7 Sports, the number 322 signing class. And that's before, you have what's right in front of you here, which is an incredibly experienced and exciting-looking 2021-2022 men's basketball team. I know they got a couple of injuries they got to deal with in the next month or so, but this whole month of October will be a whole bunch of hype for men's basketball and women's basketball too, which has a roster that's totally different from the men's side. A lot of youth and exuberance. There are some senior leaders, a couple of players that have been around there for 4 or 5 years. So, October I think is going to be an exciting month for basketball just for the hype reasons. Leading into the start of the season in November. And by then, hopefully, football still has it rolling. Both basketball teams will have great months of November. And then Santa Claus and Hanukkah Harry bring us a whole bunch of presents once we get into December. Although I do think, although I haven't checked my calendar, I think Hanukkah's early this year. I think it's around Thanksgiving. Yep, we've got our little floating Hebrew calendar to worry about there. All right, 877-377-6963. We do ask your help on what song do we need the theme for October. Shane's given us a list of 10. One of them is a Barry Manilow song that I know, and that's too sad, and we're not using Barry Manilow for October. Sorry. Mumford & Sons, maybe. We'll figure it out. Hey, we got 31 days to worry about it. Halftime's also brought to you by Crabtree RV Center in Alma. That's the dealership that's been serving Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley for over 70 years. Huge showroom, 17 acres, 26,000 square feet, right at the junction of I-40 and I-49 beside the Cracker Barrel. It's Crabtree RV Center, helping all families find the best experience. They'll help you choose the right RV. They'll fix you up, and everything breaks in between. And they're right there again at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma. Crabtree RV for over 70 years and 4 generations. Go to the website for all the inventory, crabtreerv.com. All right, quick thing next. Oh, boy, Drew. Hope you don't have any performance anxiety.
I'm a little nervous, actually, about this tomorrow.
I'm a little nervous about your missus. If she wants you to speak to her kindergarten class, what is wrong with her?
Well, actually, apparently she put it to a vote, and they picked me.
What's wrong with the kids?
I know.
They just don't know what's coming.
They have no idea. I'm nervous.
Halftime back. Stay with us.
Everything. Dogs and fleas. Allergies. A book of Greek antiquities. Brand new pants. A very old vest. Awesome items are the best. Trees. Drugs. Clogs. They're awesome. Rocks. Clocks. And socks. They're awesome. Figs. And jigs. And twigs. That's awesome. Everything you see or think or say is awesome.
Don't miss out on Hog Reaction after every Razorback football game. Presented by Game Day Live.
Coach Pittman, son, I love you, man. This fan base loves you. You got the whole train rolling out of the darkness. I'll say this, Razorback football is what? It's back. Running back USA is back. The buy-in's there. It's not where you're at, it's where you're going.
Only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
The temperatures may be cooling down, but at Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas, the deals are still red hot. Whether you are enjoying one of over 50 state parks or tailgating with your favorite team, Wheels has the right RV to help you enjoy fall in the natural state. And at Wheels RV, every new unit comes with a lifetime warranty. So get out to Wheels and see why they were voted best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hi, my name is Craig Sills. I'm the senior pastor here at Park Hill Baptist Church here in Arkadelphia, and I want to encourage you to get your COVID vaccination. As a pastor and as a dad and as a friend, I want to think about who the people are around me, and I want to try to do the best I can to make sure that they're safe. That's why I think it's so important. It's to protect individuals, but more importantly, I think it helps protect community. And especially now with the new variants that are coming through, I think it's so important that we need to get vaccinated to be able to hold on to that sense of community together.
Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
It's fall in the River Valley, and that means cooler temperatures in the morning, pleasant temperatures in the afternoon. One of the other things you can count on in the fall, the red-hot deals continue at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. If you're looking for a new F-150, if you're looking for new Mustangs, if you're looking for quality check pre-owned vehicles, the place to stop is 5500 Rogers Avenue at Randall Ford. Fourth oldest Ford dealership in America, my friend, right here in your own backyard. Stop in and see us today.
Ashley Air is proud to be an official sponsor of Razorback Athletics. Our service to the River Valley began in 1958, the same year that the legendary Frank Broyles took over as football coach. The Hogs have had some great coaches, but we've never had so many on campus all at once. Sam Pittman, Eric Musselman, Dave Van Horn, and Mike Neighbors, just to name a few. What an incredible team. We put together quite a team at Ashley Air, too. On game day, call the Hogs. When your AC breaks, call Ashley Air.
Bro, your fridge is empty. You need to make a beer run.
Nah, bro. I just ordered my beer from Sodies on their new app. They're bringing the beer to me.
Yeah! Your favorite store for wine, beer, and spirits now offers delivery in the Fort Smith area. Order online at mysodies.com or on the Sodies app. Must be 21 or older and show ID upon delivery. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, where it's finally time for our end of summer clearance. We've been busy all summer helping more people than ever get the nicer, newer cars they need, and now it's time to flip our inventory. Over 120 Rath Road Ready cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to save you money now. Some with discounts up to $4,800 below retail. Plus, we're putting every deal together with extra for trades and fast, easy financing through the top local credit unions and the nation's best banks and lenders. If you've been waiting for the best time to buy a premium pre-owned vehicle, now is the time, and Rath Auto Resources is the place. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, and up to a $100 rebate when you use your Meineke credit card. Get the nicer, newer car you've been wanting today and save up to $4,800 during the end of summer clearance at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
This is ESPN 95.3. Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
October Road. There you go.
There's one song.
Okay.
He said the name of the month.
I love the original JT, the OG JT.
When I listen to that, and I think I've heard that song, but it does remind you of what it feels like to kind of be driving one of those Ozark mountain roads in October, twisting and turning with
windows down,
changing their colors. Windows down, of course.
Oh,
October needs to be a no air conditioning month.
Riding your brakes the whole time.
Exactly right. That is exactly right.
I've been teleported there. I can feel the wind in my hair. Looking at the beautiful scenery.
A deer runs out in front of you and you have a wreck.
Ooh, watch out. Yeah. And the October Road all of a sudden does not have you.
You're going around a corner on your motorcycle with some young chick on the back.
All right, Drew, I don't know where to start with this. I know that your missus is a kindergarten teacher.
Yes.
and bless her for that. It's one of the most important jobs in the world.
I don't know how she does it.
Kindergarten teacher. I wondered how she had the patience to date you. She's
how.
a kindergarten teacher.
She has to deal with 25-years
There's the answer.
But you have
for
the
8 hours a day.
You have
so
the
she's-
maturity of a kindergarten.
Exactly. So she can put up with 1 for the rest of the time. So when you have to deal with 20 for 8 hours a day for 5 days a week, 1 doesn't seem that bad.
So why in the Earth's name are you going to be speaking to her kindergarten class? What is going on to bring you in to educate the youth of our America?
Well, I don't think I'll be educating the youth or anything like that tomorrow, but they have done different days, like different category of days. And tomorrow's day is sports day. So I think she put it a vote between either me as a sports broadcaster, told her students that, or her brother who plays football for the University of Memphis.
No, he'll come in for law enforcement day along with the rest of her family.
Yes,
right?
yes. So he'll be there because his big goal, he wants to be in the Secret Service. So of course we just got to add one more thing to scare me.
Does he know McGruff the crime dog?
I don't think her brother does, but I'm pretty sure her father does. And if I can get an autograph for you, Maddie, I'll definitely,
or a paw print.
I'll get a paw print for you. So she asked me if I would be willing to read them a book tomorrow via Zoom.
When's the last time you read a book?
Personally?
No. When's the last time somebody read a book to you?
I don't know.
Audio books don't count.
Last book I read.
He's got to think about it.
I did mean to put you on the spot because this is what happens in this society.
It is.
Today.
Nobody
reads as much as we used
The only
to.
time I really enjoy reading is when I'm on the beach. So the last time I was on the beach, the last book I read was a John Grisham novel about a rogue lawyer who represents
that's every
like
John
8 or
Grisham.
9 of those.
He represents guys on death row, and he's really into. He sponsors MMA fighters or stuff like that. I don't really
escapes
remember. Name escaped me. I actually didn't finish the book. Got about 3/4 away. Trip was over. Put it down. Never picked it back.
It was probably called like the Rogue Lawyer.
Drew, my first.
I think
bit
it
of
actually
advice.
is called the Rogue Lawyer.
See, that's just throwing something to the wall and see if it sticks.
It was
Maddie,
good.
right?
It was a
And it
decent book.
stuck because you know the thing with John Grisham. My first bit of advice here, Drew, is that you're going to remember. You're going to need to remember how to read a book. It's not like maybe it's supposed to be like riding a bike.
Mm-hmm.
But once your attention span has shrunken to where it is now,
Exactly.
and I don't just mean you, it's me too.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a bit of practice to get to the point to where you get back to turning the pages on a consistent basis. But with that said, I understand this is just kindergarten. It's not like you're reading War and Peace to them, right?
No, I'm not reading War and Peace to them. But here's the thing: to be entertaining,
not even the abridged version.
Dude, how much should I try to be entertaining? Because with kids, and I've learned this with my own nieces and nephews, if you try too hard, they hate it. They will call you out faster than any adult, anybody else, if you look like you're trying too hard. So if I'm reading the book, do I don't want to be just straight.
Is this a picture book?
It will be a picture
Well,
book.
then-
I have to go buy a children's book.
I would
so,
say
Kindergarten, of course there
I have to
is.
go
Otherwise,
buy a book tonight.
if he didn't bring a picture book in, I mean, these kids are coming armed with lettuce and tomatoes to throw.
Well, luckily it's over Zoom, so I won't get
What
stuff
you gotta do,
thrown
you
at
gotta
me.
really point out the picture. So
Mhm.
don't just read. Also, then describe what each picture is.
okay.
Maybe describe the colors,
Mhm.
the shapes that are in the picture.
Well, the thing is, I need a good book, but also not a long book. I'm looking for something 10 to 20 pages.
Maybe something about
max.
dinosaurs.
See, but it's sports day, and
Oh,
Phil
yeah,
recommended Casey at bat.
Casey at the bat.
At the bat. Casey at the bat.
Get it right. You're going to need to read it yourself first before you read it to the kids.
Of course. But I'm also want to ask our listeners if they have any advice for me reading to kids. If you're a parent out there, remember when your child either is or was 5, what was the best way to read them a story, and what was their favorite sports story if they had one?
All right, so
because
now
I'm nervous. I'm
I have
extremely
experience
nervous
doing this. I have
Yes.
experience doing this. I have Casey at the bat memorized and have for years. I've been to schools and not read it, but sort of performed it to them because you can do it in a theatrical manner. I'm not telling that that's what you need to do, but it does involve some terminology that nobody uses any longer. So you're going to need to at least define some of this stuff for them. But the
Okay.
story in and of itself works. The biggest thing you've got to do even if it's over Zoom, and be careful of the tomato and lettuce emojis because those can come as well. You need to practice reading upside down because when you read to kindergartners, you read with the book open towards them so they see the pictures.
Okay, so
that is a fact of kindergarten.
Oh, didn't mean to hit the mic if that did anything. So I got to read like this, right?
More like sideways. The good news is if you get hung up on any big words, you could just make up the story. It's not like the kids are going to know any difference, you know?
Yeah, make sure you mix in the part of Casey, grabbing his crotch and spitting tobacco juice on home plate. Make sure you throw that.
See,
in.
that's what I'm worried about because I'm not the best reader. Like to read out loud, like all through elementary school, middle school, high school, even the insane one professor that I had in college that liked us to read out loud. I hated it. I ducked my head. I, never raised my hand, never volunteered, and when it did fall on me, I always looked very dumb.
Could you do it in a James Earl Jones voice?
Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye. A sneer curled Casey's lip. And now the leather-covered sphere came hurtling through the air.
Casey stood watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the stirred. I don't need to do
What
this.
the
Wow.
I'm telling you.
All right.
Good job.
I'm telling you.
That was a completely random spot, too.
I got this thing memorized.
Good job, Phil.
Before moving to Arkansas, I worked for a minor league baseball team that was called the Mudville Nine.
Uh-huh.
I dressed as Mighty Casey for a halftime basketball game at the University of the Pacific because they were the Mudville Nine. So that's where I learned that.
Okay.
And it's not perfect for radio, but just hearing James Earl Jones' voice gets me excited about it.
Can I play James Earl Jones' voice and then just mouth it?
Lip sync?
Yeah, just lip sync.
You want to be the Milli Vanilli of kindergarten readers.
I'll introduce myself and then I'll say, now, kids, I'm going to switch on my reading voice.
It'll be a whole new level.
And then just boom.
That'll be a whole new level of lip syncing, man. If you can pull that off,
I'd really have to practice it, though.
Because you don't look like you sound like James Earl Jones. You just don't.
You're right. I don't look like my voice is that deep.
Halftime is going on the road tomorrow to Athens, Georgia. Behind enemy lines, Ty will be there as well. I guess I got to meet him at some point. Is being brought to you by Reed's Metals of Benton, Arkansas. That's the manufacturer. They buy direct, save on all your metal roofing, metal buildings, and pole barns. For a free quote, you can call 501-776-3825 or just visit reedsmetals.com. All right, it's halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and somebody that wants to sound like James Earl Jones. It's going to take you a lifetime of practice to get there. Lifetime of practice. And probably a lot more whiskey than you're willing to drink.
I don't know about that.
Stay tuned. Bob Holt comes up next. Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. 4 generations.
Back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing.
Bobby Garland, America's favorite, white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Do you know the difference between admission and confession? Admission is acknowledging the truth of something. Confession is a formal statement agreeing that you're guilty. Greg Allman admitted he's no angel, but that doesn't mean he confessed his guilt before God. Romans 10:10 says, one believes and is justified, and with the mouth one confesses and is saved. Confess to God that Jesus died in your guilty place, and then you'll receive His amazing grace. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Pray about it.
The Game Day Lodge in Branson is the perfect place for corporate retreats, golf trips, and team building activities. You'll find 10 bedrooms with 19 beds for up to 28 guests, 9 bathrooms, 17 TVs, poker table, 2 kitchens, 2 laundry rooms, a fire pit, 2 gas grills, outdoor basketball court, a heated indoor swimming pool nearby, and a 10-minute drive to Silver Dollar City. Not to mention near some of the best golf courses. Just search Game Day Lodge on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Airbnb, and VRBO. We're back and better than ever. All eyes are on the gridiron as teams are back for another football season. As always, BetOnline is your #1 spot for all the pro and college football action this season. With the new updated site and interface, even more odds, props, and contests, BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. Head to your website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Don't forget to use our promo code BELIEVE to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV. From football, basketball, boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of these amazing offers for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home,
Heat for yourself with the new Hot Honey Hand-Breaded Chicken Sandwich at Hardee's. Go get it now.
Feed your happy. Available for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary. This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett. Want to jump in the conversation with the guys? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963.
All right, we got Bob Holt with us, sports specialist, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Good to join us on Thursdays, giving us some of his time. Bob, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
We're great.
Doing
We're
well.
great. Having some fun so far. Trying to convince Drew that he needs to memorize Casey at the Bat to read it to his girlfriend's kindergarten class. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but I have to do it by tomorrow. So that's the thing.
You don't have to memorize it.
Why does he have to memorize it? Can he just read it from a book or copying it down or something?
Good point. It's a very good point.
Well, counterpoint, Bob. I'm not a good reader out loud. So I'm going to have to practice. It honestly would be better for me to memorize it.
Yeah. Well, see what happens. You get 24 hours to worry about this, Drew. Bob, I knew a couple of these storylines, but I didn't realize how many of them there are across the SEC this weekend. You know, I mean, we've got this Arkansas-Georgia game in which Sam Pittman is returning to Columbia, but there's 3 other games where somebody is making like a big return for the first time since whenever. You know, you got Lane Kiffin returning to Tuscaloosa, TJ Finley, who we still don't know whether he'll start at quarterback or you imagine he'll play for Auburn, returns to Baton Rouge. Josh Heupel with Tennessee returns to Columbia where he was offensive coordinator. I mean, it's like a whole bunch of prodigal sons returning across the SEC this Saturday.
Well, of course, Sam Pittman's returning to Georgia. So, yeah, it is kind of homecoming Saturday across the SEC. There may be some other guys, but we forgot about, but that's 4 examples right there that are pretty good.
Absolutely, yeah. And, I mean, nobody wants – the only people that get caught up in that, I guess, would be you know, the fans. You know, Sam Pittman, I think – I mean, you'd like to think that him walking into that stadium for the first time as a head coach of Arkansas, you know, gives him a moment of nostalgia. but you can focus obviously on the thing that's at hand. It sounded to me that what he talked a bit about what he's learned from working under Kirby Smart, and the first thing he mentioned was organization and how to practice. So, I mean, it had nothing to do with the game in and of itself. Obviously he talks about recruiting with Kirby Smart, but it sounds like he learned, how he structures his day and his practice.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Sam worked for a lot of head coaches over the years at some really big schools and some not so big schools. But I'm sure I would think his approach is probably he tries to take the best from everybody he worked with. Obviously, putting his own spin on things. But nothing he mentioned about Kirby was putting pressure on your assistant coaches. I guess being very demanding of them. And not in any kind of unfair way or anything like that. But I think everybody sees Sam as a very pleasant person and great personality. But he also can be tough on the players and the assistants when he feels the need to do that. I think that's been pretty evident that he'll push his assistants as well as the players.
I find that with Dave Van Horn too, Bob. And I don't know. I mean, pressure is one word, but you see a lot of other folks, and they say this about Sam Pittman too, and also about Dave Van Horn, is they're not micromanagers. So, along with letting your assistants do exactly what you've hired them for and giving them freedom to do that job, pressure goes along with that because you're paid very well. You're expected to elevate the program. So, and it sounds like all these assistant coaches, because it's been a great first month, and the way that they're recruiting too, they buy into that pressure.
Yeah, and we get to see a little bit of practice, and watching Sam during camp, and we didn't get to go to practice last year very often. I didn't. We were allowed to go some, but yeah, I would say Sam is sort of your CEO coach. He's not a play caller. Some head coaches are play callers. They're really involved in game plan. I'm sure Sam's involved in game plan and meeting, but there's some you saw like Bobby Petrino. He was an offensive guy. You're not really sure how much he was involved in the defense. Oh, he was to some extent, because I know he told some coaches some things they didn't necessarily want to do, or felt like maybe he was being a little heavy-handed. But you watch Sam; he goes around to all the position groups. At least when I've seen practice, he'll watch the quarterbacks and the line. Obviously the offensive line's his specialty, but he goes around to every position group on both sides of the ball. He meets with all the staff. On Sundays he talked about you meet with the offensive staff, defensive staff, special teams, all that stuff. So, he obviously knows football, but I think he lets his assistants, do their job and gives them leeway. But he's the guy that's going to tell, Kendall Brown, so you've got 2 plays to make this first down. Or, I'm sure he makes suggestions to Barry Odom. But, those guys are well paid, as you point out, for a reason. And they're obviously performing at a pretty high level. So I think, Sam's involved, but he also doesn't want to get in their way.
Yeah, it does feel like that. And that he hires somebody to do the job and then actually lets them do the job, which is something that we see a lot of head coaches. As soon as things, don't go 100% right, they decide to backtrack on that and do everything and basically just have them sit in the corner, and then they get overwhelmed and the program starts to get overwhelmed, and it never seems to really work out when coaches just keep giving and then taking back obligations and tasks for their assistants to do. And one thing that we've been getting asked about a lot as this team has had success is about how long Barry Odom and Kendall Briles will be the OC and DC at the University of Arkansas. Could you see them leaving after this year if job opportunities come up? And ultimately, is that a good thing for your program? Kind of, you don't want 100% of a revolving door, but kind of like in Alabama has a revolving door of OCs and DCs like they have in the past.
Well, I think it all gets down to what kind of opportunities they have. I have a hard time seeing Barry Odom leaving for another coordinator job. I think he's turned down some pretty good jobs to stay with Sam in Arkansas. If he gets, I also don't doubt he wants to be a head coach again. And if he gets the right offer, I can see him leaving to become a head coach. He might leave to be a coordinator somewhere, but I just think he's really close with Sam. And we talked about the working relationship they have, and I think he could have gone to Texas and LSU. I'm not sure what better job offers you're going to get than those two schools in terms of the athletes you're going to be able to work with, and just the power with those. Those are power programs, and I think he feels very comfortable with Sam. That they're obviously he works for Sam, works with Sam, but they're also friends, and I think that has a lot to do with why Barry Odom's still here. Kendall Briles, obviously if he gets a head coaching opportunity, I think he feels good about, he would leave for that. Maybe he'd leave for another coordinator's job. But I think one thing, they're proven they can have success at Arkansas, even in the SEC West. And Arkansas has had success before, not Alabama success, not LSU success, but Arkansas has won the West before and gone to Atlanta. Hadn't won the game there yet, but I think Arkansas has shown that they can compete in the SEC at a high level. But yeah, it's always hard to retain your coordinators. I think, Sam talked about SEC media days, realize, and Jamel Walker, their strength conditioning coach, apparently he had some offers to leave. So, Frank Rose is, it's good to have coaches other schools want, because that means they're doing a good job. But the key is retaining those guys, whether it's through raises or. But yeah, I don't think those guys are going to leave because somebody's offering a ton more money. I think Arkansas would do what it takes to keep them if that's. But you don't want to hold a guy back either, obviously.
Yeah, obviously, and it's good to have other head coaches envy of what you've already got in the building. On the defensive side in this game against Georgia, we've seen a lot of three-man. We've seen all three-man front for the last few games. Do you think that Barry Odom sticks with the three-man front, knowing that it's worked in the past to stop the run game, or do you think that to continue that success, we see a four-man this week and sacrifice the 8 dropping back and just go with 7?
Well, I think dropping 8 back works better against younger quarterbacks like A&M had, like Texas had. Daniels is a pretty experienced guy. He obviously started at Southern Cal. He started Georgia, I guess, about midway through last season. So it wouldn't surprise us if he went to come out in a 4-man front. But they'll probably also wouldn't surprise us to see him do a mixture of both. They've been pretty versatile. And Barry's been very good at disguising defenses. You always think about disguising coverages, but they've been pretty good about disguising where guys are coming from, whether it's a 3-man rush, whether they're blitzing linebackers, maybe bringing somebody out of the secondary. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how they approach this, because Georgia hasn't had a super explosive offense like Ole Miss, Alabama, but they've been, they have a really good stable of running backs. They have good offensive linemen. Sam Pittman's helped them recruit some of those guys. And Daniels is they got a good tight end. They've got some good receivers. So it's a good offense. I don't know that the best offense they're going to see. Probably the best offense that they would have seen to this so far. I would say that. It's a very good offense, but I don't know if it's going to be as good as Ole Miss or Alabama, who they'll see later on.
I heard Coach Pittman, I think it was yesterday afternoon, talking about what he thinks the game will come down to is who tackles better and who's breaking tackles. Last week he said whoever wins the line of scrimmage. Some of this sounds so simplistic, but man, I don't really think it is that simplistic, because you're facing a different kind of athlete, with Georgia than you face even in a lot of other SEC games. They're just tougher to tackle. This has been a good Arkansas tackling defense. And one of the things that has stood out, certainly about the stable of running backs, and K.J. Jefferson too. I think Traylon Burks can do it. I think Warren Thompson can probably do it too. They break tackles as well. And, there's going to be tacklers around you. That's just because Georgia's defense is so fast. You're not going to outrun them. You got to break some tackles in this game.
Yeah, and Arkansas had a little bit of trouble, I thought, tackling A&M. It was still early in that game, but then as the game went on, they got a lot better. And Arkansas's backs have been good at breaking tackles. You were A.J. Green, touchdown pass, touchdown catch, and run. I think he broke 3 tackles. One of the Aggies more or less pushed him towards the end zone, and so I guess he helped him in that regard. But, football, for all the different innovations and rule changes through the last 100 years or whatever, it still really gets down to blocking and tackling in a lot of cases. I think another big key is Arkansas did not turn the ball over against A&M. A&M only had the one turnover, I think, and that turned out to be really key because that led to the field goal drive with Hornsby. They gave them a 10-point lead, gave them a two-score lead. And I think Arkansas only had one turnover against Texas. I think KJ threw one interception. I don't think they had any other turnovers. So that'll be big, too. When the turnover margin is always big, especially going on the road, they need to take care of the ball at Georgia for sure.
Bob, appreciate you, man. I guess you making the trip? You headed to Athens?
Tom Murphy will be there, and we'll have some other folks. But, yeah, I'm not going. The Zooms are all on the interviews are all Zoom, whether you're here or there. So, yeah, I made the call not to go. I'll just be covering, which I did all the games that way last year, so I got a little experience doing that. So, yeah, part of me would really like to be there, but I think I'll be fine here covering the game.
All right. Well, we'll have you on next week. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Okay, you guys take care.
Thanks, Bob.
Holt, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Hey, it's lunchtime. If your crew's hungry for flavor in football today, this is your lucky day for both at Buffalo Wild Wings. Boneless Thursday, buy one, get one free, and hot, crispy boneless wings. Football on the wall-to-wall TVs. Your crew couldn't leave hungry if they tried. That's Buffalo Wild Wings, Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. BOGO boneless wings of equal value are at participating locations only while supplies last. Limit 1. Fees may apply.
Phil Elson and Ty Richardson are behind enemy lines in Athens this weekend.
Gentlemen, I want to make one thing clear before we leave.
Their safety is secured by Reed's Metals of Benton.
Any man who doesn't wish to join this mission, step away right now.
Additional protection comes from Big Red Stores in Central Arkansas.
All right, then. Let's go get our boy back.
One time at B-Dubs, this crew came in hungry for flavor in football. Lucky for them, we've got both for days, especially on Boneless Thursdays. With buy one, get one free hot and crispy boneless wings and football on wall-to-wall TVs, that crew couldn't leave hungry if they tried. Get here for Boneless Thursdays at Buffalo Wild Wings, to the greatest of all times.
BOGO boneless wings of equal value at participating locations on Thursdays. Not valid with other offers. Size exclusions apply while supplies last. Limit 1. Fees may apply.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
September is here, and at Frank Rowe Furniture, it's time to sell, sell, sell. Everything's on sale. Made in the USA Furniture, family owned, and serviced after the sale. Also, we have in-store, no credit check financing. I want you to remember one name, Frank Rowe Furniture. Located at 405 4th Street in Barling, Arkansas, or check us out on Facebook. Frank Rowe Furniture. Best seats in the house.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hey, grounds guys.
Hey, what?
Y'all did such a great job on cleaning all the leaves from my yard, but I noticed y'all were pressure washing my neighbor's driveway. Y'all do that too?
Absolutely. Amy, the Grounds Guys is a full-service lawn and landscape company. We do leaf removal, gutter cleaning, power washing, and many other outdoor projects. At the Grounds Guys, we want your full lawn and landscape looking its best all year long. Call the Grounds Guys at 479-303-GUYS. That's 303-4897. And say,
hey, Grounds Guys.
And get $25 off any fall or winter service. The Grounds Guys.
Looking for a fence company that will provide the personal touch to your fence or gating project? Call Dusty's Fence Company at 479-629-4190. Dusty's Fence Company specializes in custom wood design, vinyl fencing, chain link and ornamental iron projects, and they can even stain your fence to complete your project. Family owned and in business for 20 years, you will deal with the same person from start to finish. That's Dusty's Fence Company, 479-629-4190.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Jack Williams worked the ferry on the Washita River line for $5.65 an hour. He hauled them people side to side. Our love was a rush like a flood in the spring.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at PhilElsonPXP, at Matt Travis, and at DBarrett36. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
You guys ever worked anywhere where you had a dress policy? Do we have one at ESPN Arkansas, or they just demand that you at least come to the building fully clothed and leave it at that?
It's starting to become more strict because Ty, of course, is ruining everything with his swimsuit and flip-flops and it's getting more strict.
Wait until December when he starts wearing his Christmas sweaters. He's got the most disgusting set of Christmas sweaters you've ever seen.
Oh, I'm sure he does. There's
one where it looks like it's almost like the movie Alien, where the alien jumps out of the guy's chest.
Yeah.
He's got a sweater where it looks like Rudolph is doing that.
Ah. I have the only Christmas sweater I have is a sloth that's holding a beer, and like you can it actually has a place in the sweater that you can put a beer in. Like it's a full beer bottle. It's pretty cool.
All right. Well, don't wear that when you're doing the kindergarten class.
I will not.
All right?
I will not.
I only asked this because I didn't realize that out of all of the major professional sports leagues, that the only one that still imposes a strict dress code for athletes on game day is the NHL.
Really?
Yeah, the NHL players still have to come to
They're the only suit and ties?
Wearing suit and tie, except for right now, at least the Arizona Coyotes say that they're relaxing their game day dress code. I think I saw a term that made me laugh because, everybody dressed down in athletics last year. Heck, you had basketball coaches that usually were wearing suits that were just wearing
T-shirts and
shirts and T-shirts for crying
tennis
out loud.
shoes.
Good luck getting back to the way it used to be. But there was a term that was called bubble casual. Like, this is different than business casual. This is only for being in a sports bubble, essentially. And I don't exactly know what it looked like, but could you imagine? There obviously is no dress code for the NBA.
No,
because you see what these guys are wearing to the arena night after night. It almost feels like who can outdo whomever in. I don't even know what to call it. Some of it's absolutely crazy, but good enough for these guys to do what they want to do.
And nobody beats Cam Newton. Cam Newton is the weirdest.
Well, it's not like he's got a stadium to report to these days.
No, he doesn't.
He can put on a fashion show in his driveway and see how many.
He
people
can wear
come
his
to watch.
romper and his hat with no top on it, so his hair can go straight through.
Dress codes are a funny thing, even in college athletics, because you'll see the football team, I know they dress in suits, or at least jackets. I think it's just jackets, for flying to the opponent on the road. They don't have to wear that jacket on the flight back.
Okay.
And I guess it's up to the coach whether or not they want to relax that dress code or not.
Yeah.
If you go have a great. Let's just translate it. Take out the sports aspect here. You go to a business meeting, right? And you kick butt, and you get them to sign on the dotted line, and you get more money for your services than you expected, right? Then you're going to throw down. Then all bets are off.
Oh yeah, tie is coming loose.
That's exactly right. Well, I mean, I see this with other teams that have to wear even something as simple as like slacks and a polo shirt for the flight to the opponent. On the flight back, I mean, it's flip-flops,
whatever
shorts, whatever, socks and flip-flops. Like if I try to get on the airplane, if I try to get on a team flight with socks and flip-flops, someone's going to look at me and said, look what my daughter said to me the last time she saw me with socks and flip-flops. Just going outside to pick up the mail.
Then take your socks off. Why are you wearing socks inside in the first place? I don't wear socks in my house.
You see athletes wear. Now, I guess there's a difference between beach flip-flops and shower shoes.
Yes. Slides.
Right?
They're called slides.
You'll see this is a Bull Durham term that I'm just throwing out there.
I know,
for
shower
you, okay?
shoes. Don't get mold on your shower shoes.
So I guess they're not wearing the flip-flops necessarily. They're wearing the slides with the socks.
That is acceptable. It has become acceptable. You cannot wear flip-flops where it divides the toes with socks. That is unacceptable. That is dad to 1,000.
Even just to go outside and grab the mail out of the mailbox?
No. Just take your socks off.
Even if I'm just walking outside to scream at somebody to get off my lawn, I mean, is that okay?
I mean, if you're the person that wears sandals or socks with sandals, then you're definitely yelling at people outside of your house. You're definitely that crazy guy that's yelling at people to get off his lawn.
Well, I'm not wearing it on the commercial flight to Atlanta because I don't want to get heckled. I will have the mask on, though, because, well, you have to.
Well, slides might be good for, going through an airport because, I mean, that way you don't have to keep taking your shoes on and off.
And don't you worry, boys. I'll take a nice hot shower before getting on the airplane when I'm sitting next
Don't
to strangers.
be stinky next to people.
I don't want to talk to.
Representing the show badly.
All right, we got another hour left here on a wonderful Thursday edition of Halftime. 877-377-6963. Start your studies. Halftime homework after the break.
You've had the hand-breaded chicken sandwich at Hardee's, but have you tried it with crispy bacon, melty Swiss, and their new hot honey sauce? It's the ultimate flavor of sweet and heat. Get it while you can because this honey has some bite. Taste the sweet heat for yourself with the new hot honey hand-breaded chicken sandwich at Hardee's. Go get it now.
Feed your happy. Available for a limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
The Peter Pender Zone of Wave Rural Connect is open. That fiber internet, phone, and TV service you've been hearing so much about is now available for areas south of the Arkansas River, to Coxville, to east of Cecil, and over to Roseville, with amazingly fast internet starting at $49.95 a month. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com to get signed up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities that we serve.
Make a Wake Bait and Tackle on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma has everything a fisherman needs. Rods, reels, tackle, plastics, all kinds of great baits to catch a wall hanger. Rods starting at $69.95. The biggest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reaction Innovation, Bobby Garland, Lake Forgoogan, and more. And Make a Wake has Daiwa rods and reels, and they repair them too. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Partial sunshine today with a chance of showers and scattered storms. Our high this afternoon will be into the lower 80s. Tonight, another chance of showers and scattered thunderstorms, an overnight low in the mid-60s. And then widespread showers, a few thunderstorms Thursday. Highs upper 70s to low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing and Drain Cleaning. Book your appointment at MrRooter.com.
I hate everything you just said. KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
And this one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
Fans are amazing. It is lit down here on the sideline.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Here come the students. Oh, here come the students. They're coming from the south end, and this one has been a long time brewing.
I have been waiting for this moment for a long time.
Judging by the sound of it, so has everyone else.
Halftime today is brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings in Fort Smith, Conway, Little Rock, Sherwood, and Jonesboro. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Hey, hold on. It's almost halftime.
And we have turned the corner on halftime here as we move into our second hour on this Thursday. Jackson Collier will join us bottom of the hour. He's from Hog Beat, covers, of course, Arkansas basketball, JC Hoops podcast, and a really good Twitter follow as well. Hogs basketball is getting another big-time recruit in Nick Smith Jr., and now we kind of wait and see what happens with the next. I know that they're looking for another possible recruit to hopefully, well, not sign on the dotted line yet, just make the announcement. Jordan Walsh would be the next one you're looking for, who is in Branson now and is going to play for Branson this last year. All right, but that stuff we'll get to later with Jackson. It is the beginning of the second hour on a Thursday, and we've done our studying, and I think we've all done our halftime homework.
What kind of homework assignment?
Kind of a tough assignment.
I'm thinking we should talk about the homework assignment.
Dude, did you do all your homework last night?
I'm not doing it. This is hard.
You really did your homework, didn't you?
It's time for halftime homework.
What do you boys have for me today?
First thing you got to make sure you do for halftime homework is take care of your dental health. Riley Farm Dental, right at the entrance of Riley Farms of Highway 71, is the place where patients get better lives and comfortable experiences thanks to Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan. That's Riley Farm Dental. They provide all dental procedures, including braces, implants, and cosmetics, and have been voted top 3 best of the best 4 years running. RileyFarmDental.com. The phone number is 226-3500. Well, Drew assigned me Tyler Childers, the Purgatory album.
Well, did you finish?
I listened to the whole album.
You listened to all two? Did you finish the Eminem 2-hour one first?
Well, yeah, I did not want to listen to the rest of that Evil album by the Relapse album by Eminem. I listened to the first hour of it. That's all I needed to be frightened for the rest of that day, man. I barely was able to sleep after listening to one half of that album.
You didn't eat any mom's spaghetti?
I'm not eating anything that Eminem's mom was ever close to. Based upon the first track off that album, which there is no reason
a lot of
to get
Valium
into.
in it.
My gosh. I mean, seriously. And then I thankfully assigned me like a fun album the next time around that still has some, stuff in it that's not for, you'd say it's more
everybody,
PG-13 or R-rated, but it's a great album. It's a better album, I thought.
Really good.
Purgatory by Tyler Childers is great.
I knew you'd like it. I knew that after getting so much slack, and not only from you but from our listeners about why I would assign that album, I had to, give you a softball. I had to lob you one, throw you one right down your main street, and that was the perfect one to do.
Well, like I said, like White House Road might have belonged on an Eminem album at some point in a rap version of it, right?
Yeah.
I had heard Feathered Indians. I had heard that on a couple of other playlists, so I was familiar with his sound, his voice. The rest of the album's terrific. So well done, Drew. You assigned me Something that wasn't crap.
For somebody who doesn't know who that guy is, what could he be compared to that I would be like, oh, okay, is there anybody?
I don't know. I mean, it's country folk.
Yeah.
Indie country music. Like, there's like indie rock. It'd be like the indie version of country music.
Well, look, it's not an album that you're going to listen to and say, "Oh, this is the pop country. This is the pop country that people make fun of."
But it's not
because I don't like that.
It's like a mixture of country and bluegrass. Is the way that I would go with
it. Would
you
you compare him to Billy Strings?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, I like Billy Strings.
Yeah, if you like Billy Strings, then you'd like him.
If I knew who Billy Strings was, I would definitely
I haven't listened
compare.
to a lot of Billy Strings, but my brother introduced me to him a few months ago.
I found out about him about a week ago, and then a couple of days ago watched like an hour concert from Red Rocks.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, now on the other end here, so I did my homework. Drew, what about yours? I set you up beautifully here to have a highly memorable segment for halftime homework because Drew's assignment was, and it was to the day when I assigned it to you in 1904, that cost the New York Giants the National League pennant because of a play by Fred Merkle.
Well, first off, Phil, you have your date wrong. It was 1908. See?
But I had the right date of... So, all right, the Giants did win the National League pennant in 1904, and that's why they didn't play in the World Series because McGraw hated the Americans.
Yes, it was the only World Series that hadn't been played up until 1994.
Yes, and I have complained about that recently on Halftime, too. But what did you learn about the greatest named play in the history of baseball?
Okay.
Merkle's boner.
Merkle's boner. So what I learned was that it was the bottom of bottom of the ninth. It is Cubs, Giants. Merkle is on first base. They get a single up the middle. There's a runner on third. That scores. It was a 1-1 ball game. Game over. Everybody's celebrating. And Merkle before I get to the fans, the 20,000 plus people that were in the Polo Grounds that day decided they were going to storm the field in celebration because the Giants have won the pennant. They've
the SEC
it.
fined them $100,000 too in 1908 dollars.
Yes, they did. So it was custom for when that happened for all the players to basically get out of Dodge, to get out of the way of the crazed fans, and they all start heading towards center field where the Giants locker room was at the Polo Ground, and basically the only way out of the mayhem for the Giants players and for the Cubs. So Merkle never touched second.
Ooh.
So basically the play was still live. The force rule was still in play, and everybody knows if you get out on a force play, then the runner from third does not count.
Right. Even on a walk-off single, everybody's got to advance that one base to negate the force.
So the Cubs realized this. They realized that Merkle never touched second base, that he has taken off for his own safety, right, and gotten out of Dodge. So the Cubs players decided they got to track down the ball, and a fan decided that he threw it up into the stands. He threw the baseball into the stands. So the Cubs players go into the stands, track it down, ask the guy for the ball. He says, "No, I'm not giving it to you." And the Cubs players basically beat this guy up. They beat up a fan in the stands to get the ball, go back down to the field, touch second. Umpires, because it was the rule at the time, call him out and declare the game a tie. They didn't go to a one-game playoff the next day, and the Chicago Cubs win, and, of course, they win the World Series. Now, what Merkle did, while it's called Merkle's boner or Merkle's boneheaded play, was not that odd for the day. It was kind of an unwritten rule that if that happens and fans storm the field, just leave. You don't have to. You don't have to touch.
There's a written rule that crosses that out.
Exactly. So honestly, it should have been more of the Cubs being unfair sports about the whole thing, and all the stuff that this led to later. Merkle eventually did. He eventually played for the Cubs, I believe, a few years later. Like I said, last World Series the Cubs had won up until 5-6 years ago, and Merkle was scared to show his face, didn't actually attend a New York Giants game until 1954 during Old Timers Day.
This sounds like Bill Buckner. This sounds like Buckner with the Red Sox.
It is. It's basically Buckner before Buckner. He could basically not show his face in all of New York. The family, I heard an interview with his daughter years later talking about how, You never told anybody your last name, especially in New York. If anybody recognized y'all, you put your head down and you just got out. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a meal. If somebody said, hey, there's Fred Merkle, you just got up and left, basically. So they ruined his life. It really did. And you feel bad for, and, you know, the daughter talked about every time somebody would recognize it, they would yell boner at him.
Yeah, that's a terrible thing to shout at somebody. Really is.
It is.
May I introduce you, though, to one of the all-time great supporting characters in 1980s sitcom history, who is known as Richard Milhouse Stabone from the outstanding show Growing Pains.
Never seen.
He was known as Boner on the show. So this is something that is, you know, I don't know if they connected Merkel to Stabone himself, but there you go. I hope you had some fun with that. So
I did.
I went down the rabbit hole with this.
I did.
Man.
I watched interviews. I watched documentaries. I read multiple stories about it. And I was going to actually even make a graphic for our online streaming, but I forgot to do it.
Merkel's boner graphics do not need to happen right now.
Well, it wasn't actually going to be a graphic of what you might think when you think of the word boner, but it was going to be a good little presentation, basically.
So let me give you your assignment for this next week, okay?
Okay.
Because I was talking Growing Pains here. That's a 1980s sitcom. And this is the theme.
You know the son of Alan Thicke is
Robin Thicke.
Robin,
that's right.
right?
Yeah.
And then Alan Thicke also wrote a lot of television theme songs.
I bumped into Robin Thicke at War Eagle Caverns during the summer with the kids. It was the most random thing of all time.
He's on The Masked Singer.
It was one of the most random things ever. Anyway, but what I need you to do, one of the great things about growing up, and I was born in 1977, a lot of those sitcoms and TV shows carried into the 80s as well. The television themes from that era, nothing has ever approached the TV theme music from the 1970s specifically. So I need you to their playlist. You'll find this on YouTube.
If it bleeds
easily.
over to the 80s, I'm good, though, right?
As long as there was one episode in the 1970s, it fits. Okay? Yeah, I need you to do. You could do a top 10 because the legit are 10 great, more than that. TV theme songs.
Cheers doesn't count.
That's why I didn't go with it, because that's 1980.
Love Cheers.
I fully expect to hear this in your top 5. Picture a couple of motorcycles going down the highway outside of Los Angeles. One of them's Officer Poncherella. Did you ever see the show Chips?
I have not seen the show.
Have you seen the movie that they made with Dax Shepard?
I did like the movie. I like Dax Shepard, though.
Okay, here we go. This was big time, man. This was big time. This needs to be in your top 5. Doesn't have to be, but I would expect it is. Along with maybe Dallas, Dukes of Hazzard, The Odd Couple, and Taxi would be in my top 5.
So Chips.
So I need you to come up with that top 5 of your own.
Chips was an acronym for California
Highway something Patrol,
Interstate.
No, the I and the S was just to bring all these things together.
Oh, so
they
it's
didn't
just CHP.
Okay.
Yeah, they're known as the CHP in California, so you call them Chips. That's right.
Do real CHP officers get mad if they pull you over and you go, "What's up, Chips"?
Look, if you call them,
by one of the actors' names.
Yeah, you call one of them Eric Estrada, and they're probably gonna do something with you. This one probably belongs on your top 5.
Do they really wear short shorts?
Not anymore. They're not bikes. They're not bicycle guys. Yeah, this is a different state, a much different state.
What is this one?
One big question to ask you, but this happened in the 1980s. Drew, who shot JR?
That's from Dallas. I do know that's from Dallas. I do not know who shot JR, but I do know that pop culture reference.
So these two these are in my top 5. You need to come up with your own. That's your assignment.
All right.
What do you have for me?
Maddie, you got it ready?
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Pop quiz time for you, sir. And this came across my mind as I was watching SportsCenter this morning, and the WNBA playoff semifinals are going on right now. So one of my favorite things that we used to do back in the day was quiz people on nicknames of leagues that you don't normally know. So I have 3 leagues, 3 teams from each league, and you have to guess their nickname. And we'll start in the WNBA. Are you ready?
Right. Okay. All right. Let's see.
All right. The New York
Liberty.
Correct. 1 for Phil. The Indiana
Fever.
Correct. The Dallas.
Oh, I should know this because this is the team that it's the Wings.
It is the Wings.
Chelsea Dungy is on the Dallas Wings.
Wow, 3 for 3. There we go. All right, on to MLS soccer.
Everything starts with an FC.
Not these 3.
Well, they should.
I picked 3 that did not. The Seattle.
Sounders.
Correct. They're wow. The New England
Revolution.
Okay, 5 for 5.
Wow.
The Columbus.
Well, they used to be the Crew, and they just changed their name, and it's like a big deal there because people in Columbus actually care about soccer. I think they're FC Columbus now.
I give you Crew. Congratulations, 6 for 6. There's no way you get these. Premier League. All right, you ready?
I've never watched a single Premier League match in my life.
West Ham United.
Right, yes.
What's their
Is that
nickname?
all they're called? Just West Ham United? I don't know.
They all have special nicknames. That's not actually in their name.
Oh,
West
okay.
Ham United are?
The Bulldogs.
Incorrect. They are the Hammers. The West Ham Hammers.
Makes sense. This makes sense.
Liverpool.
The Beatles.
Incorrect.
Well,
they are the Reds.
The Beatles.
They are Reds. All right, this one should be easy if you can picture their logo. Arsenal.
The Limeys. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Sorry. Arsenal. I don't know.
The Gunners. 6 out of 3. 6 out of 9 though. That
I got
was
my
pretty
American
good.
sports.
That was really good. I was actually shocked that you got all
impressed.
3 of the WNBA and the MLS. I threw in Premier League because I was like, if by some grace in God he ends up going perfect, I've got to just humiliate him.
If I'd have gotten
a
all
little
that,
bit.
you would have had to go to La Liga next and see if I know
I
any of
would
those
have.
Spanish team names.
Well, you can just say El Tigre for like half of them. I'm sure it counts.
That's right. Same with the SEC, my friend. Same with the SEC. All right, we got to step aside for a break. We'll be right back on halftime.
Since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead you? Who'd have thought they'd lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
This is Huddle Up with John David White and Ty Richardson, live from the Martin Orthopedic Studios, presented by Phelan Orthodontics.
I would just say welcome to the SEC. Dadgum. You want to come join the best of the best? You got it. I'm glad they're in the conference, though. It brings a whole nother juice, just like last night. It brings that atmosphere. I'm super excited that they're in the SEC and that we can continue that rivalry in the yearly games now whenever they join, but welcome to the SEC.
Huddle Up every Sunday on hitthatline.com or find it on the Hit That Line podcast network.
Hi, I'm Buddy Merritt from the Mean Pig Barbecue in Cabot, Arkansas. I'm a retired U.S. Air Force veteran. I served in Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm. I've received my COVID-19 vaccination. I think it's very important for our community and our state. I served my country proudly, both here and abroad. I think it's time that everyone step up and serve their community and their state by getting vaccinated to protect our community. We need to get vaccinated. We need to protect ourselves and our state.
Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has COVID vaccinations available today for you and your family. Law's Drugstore has the Pfizer vaccine for ages 12 and up. The vaccine is safe and effective in preventing severe cases of COVID. Just call 452-6116 to schedule your appointment or stop by Law's Drugstore at 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family. Call them now, 452-6116.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Show. That's from 1981 through
Oh,
1983.
is it really?
That's right.
That was really brought back when George used it as his answering machine message.
Right. And I didn't want... Now, here's one of the great things about... Well, I love Seinfeld. Maddie, I know you love Seinfeld, too. That would never be on anybody's list of the greatest intros in TV history. Because the only thing was just... Exactly. Just pop in your mouth. That's all it was. So
I was really upset. I got really excited because I thought it was going to give me an excuse to listen to Gilligan's Island, but that ended in 67.
Oh, too bad. No Ginger, no Mary Ann for you over the next week, unfortunately. It's okay. You can Charlie's Angels. Charlie's Angels is a 70s show.
Well, the girl who plays Mary Ann is from Reno, Nevada, and actually went to high school with my grandfather.
I get that, but
so,
I mean, seriously,
that's pretty cool. But I can't watch it.
I see your Gilligan's Island, and I am raising you Charlie's Angels.
I like Charlie's Angels.
That's better. I think it should be better. It's not like you're watching the shows though, but
you're right. I just gotta have to listen to the music. But Gilligan's Island is like a classic intro, right? It's up there with the Brady Bunch. I mean, everybody knows Gilligan's Island's theme music and the Brady Bunch.
I mean, a theme song's great when the lyrics explain the whole setup
exactly.
where the show starts.
Let's see. I wanted to do a quick baseball thing here. Is this the dumbest thing you've ever seen? This Devin Williams from the Brewers. Is this just not the stupidest thing you've ever heard in your life?
Is this the guy that was handing out his number?
No, this is the Brewers setup reliever. He sets up Josh Hader. He's one of the reasons that Milwaukee is National League Central Division champions. He's last year's National League Rookie of the Year. And after the celebration for their division championship, he punched a wall. out of anger.
Mm-hmm.
And he said frustration. I'm sure the alcohol had nothing to do with it. He broke his pitching hand.
That is just insane.
His pitching hand a week before the playoffs begin. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's got to be. I mean, it's idiotic. One, it's idiotic to do it in anger. But then at a quote-unquote celebration? Like, I've never been so excited that I wanted to punch stuff.
I'm not a violent person, not at all. But I will say there have been some moments out of frustration you feel like hitting something. That's why I have a left hand.
I hit the steering wheel.
I can't do anything with my left hand. If I try to pick my nose, I miss my nostril.
I mean,
I punch with the other hand.
It's what Crash always says. You don't punch a drunk with your pitching hand. It's real good knowledge, and he should have followed Crash Davis's advice.
Look, I mean, this is one of the other really famous injuries in the postseason. Cardinals fans will remember when Vince Coleman had his ankle broken by the tarp machine. This was I think it was in St. Louis's ballpark, and they had the tarp wasn't put on by human beings. It came up out of it came up out of the ground, and then it rolled out itself, and it rolled over Vince freaking Coleman, who was their outfielder and top base stealer, and again, he was one of the reasons that the Cardinals were, I think this was 1987, the NL champions that year, and he couldn't play in the World Series because of it. But that's not, that's not a drunk moment. That's not a moment where you might have been able to do anything about it. I don't remember all of the circumstances surrounding it. But for this,
But did you see?
It makes no sense.
I believe it. No, I was thinking. The story that I was thinking of when you brought this up, a Mariners pitcher last night was apparently giving out his number from the bullpen to girls and buying them beers and stuff. And they're right in the middle of the wild card race.
Guess what that's called, Drew?
Being a player.
That's called Wednesday.
Darn
in Major
right.
League Baseball. This is a daily occurrence. Yeah.
Well, some people were a little outraged, concentrate on the game. Bro, he's in the bullpen.
It's a normal occurrence.
He's fine.
No.
It's not like he's doing it from left field.
You think every time that a ball player writes on a baseball, he's writing his name?
Heck no.
Or his uniform number? Nope. There's
a hotel
other
number.
There's other digits he's going to throw on there in just a moment. All right, we got Jackson Collier after the break. We already reminded you 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime. Unfortunately, all the treatment options can have side effects like erectile dysfunction, urinary leakage, and bowel complications. But there is a treatment that can minimize your risk of side effects when used with radiation therapy. It's called Space OR Hydrogel. Space OAR Hydrogel. If you want to learn about the risks and benefits of Space OR, spaceoar.com. That's spaceoar.com. Spaceoar.com. Sponsored by Boston Scientific. Well, according to Twitter and according to the Razorback basketball account and all the coaches and all the players and everything, they are living the life.
Hashtag living the life.
Yeah, we'll talk about that with Jackson Collier from Hogbeat after this.
Halftime is brought to you by Crabtree RV Center. 4 generations making your family dreams come true.
Did you know about 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime? Unfortunately, all treatment options can have side effects, like erectile dysfunction, urinary leakage, and bowel complications. However, Space OR Hydrogel can help minimize your risk of side effects when used with radiation therapy. To learn more about the risks and benefits of Space OR, visit spaceoar.com. That's spaceoar.com. Spaceoar.com. Sponsored by Boston Scientific.
When it comes to baling, the denser, the better. Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas can show you how roll belt round balers produce denser and higher quality round bales that drive down your production costs while driving up the nutrition of your bales. A competitive comparison showed New Holland roll belt round balers provide savings in net wrap, transportation, and lower storage losses. It's like being able to afford a new baler every other year. Stop by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Berryville, and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas soon to learn firsthand about the benefits of roll belt round balers.
Looking for a brand new Ford? You'll find it at Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol. New vehicles arriving daily. Right now, Troy, you've got plenty on the way. You got plenty here as well.
Yes, and the awesome part is we can still take deposits and secure your financing on these new units that aren't even here yet. So if you're looking for a new F-150 and you're trying to achieve that 0% financing for 72 months, you better hurry. Get down here quick. We've got a couple that are still on the way. We've got a few Escapes that just got here, an Edge, an Expedition, and we've also got some heavies, some of those Super Duties, F250 and F350. Those are on their way right now. So guys, come down here and see us. We've got a lot that's we've got a lot in inventory, and we've got a lot that's on the way.
And you said the magic words, 0% for 72 months.
I know. Hey, nothing sounds better than some free money. So come down here and take advantage of it. It's something that Ford's still offering right now. So get down here.
Harry Robinson Salasol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salasol.
Winter is just around the corner. At AOG, we realize some customers are facing new challenges because of the pandemic. We're here to help. Our customer service team can offer payment options or direct you to utility payment assistance agencies in your area for help. Please call us at 1-800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com. Thank you for being a valued AOG customer. We're all in this together.
Make a Wake Bait and Tackle on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma has everything a fisherman needs. Rods, reels, tackle, plastics, all kinds of great baits to catch a wall hanger. Rods starting at $69.95. The biggest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reaction Innovation, Bobby Garland, Lake Fork Hugin, and more. And Make a Wake has Daiwa rods and reels, and they repair them too. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 1 mile east of I-540 on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Fridays is bringing a world of flavor to your table. Come by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith and explore new appetizers and cocktails inspired by Fridays around the world. New appetizers like Wing Around the World and the Potato Skin Passport. Check out our new ultimate cocktails like the Double Berry Mojito. Stop in or order online for convenient curbside pickup at Fridays.com. Come taste a world of flavor at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Well, we're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
Something about people in basketball and their ability to memorize music history and all that kind of stuff. Jackson Collier joining us right here. I think of Mike Neighbors when I think of music trivia a lot, and certainly ranking bands and songs and all of that kind of stuff. Jackson's the same kind of guy. In fact, on his Twitter page, on his bio, says he could beat you at music trivia. So it's a pretty bold thing to say.
That is pretty bold.
So Jackson, I guess I can put you on the spot with a quick non-basketball thing here before we get into the reason you're here. Earlier, halftime homework for Drew is I'm assigning him to come up with his 5 best television theme show songs from the 1970s. Do you have one that stands apart from the others? This is music, but it's not necessarily, the kind of music that I'm not sure if you were getting on. Do you do TV theme shows too?
Man, so I do love a good old TV theme shows or a show theme song, especially from the 90s. I guess 90s is more my forte into sitcom theme songs and all that. But I will say, what is it? Is it Archie Bunker? What show is that? Is that All in the Family?
All in the Family, that's right.
I love that theme. I think that's 70s, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And we came in here.
Okay, I'll go with that one then.
Well, we went into this segment with the Jeffersons, and of course, he first was on All in the Family, so it all comes down to that. There you go. All right, basketball now. What does Arkansas get in Nick Smith Jr.? Simple question. I've never seen him play before. I can only go by what I read. What kind of a player is Nick Smith?
Straight up, probably the most gifted offensive basketball player I've ever seen at the high school level. He is one of those guys. He can score at all three levels. You know, you hear Coach Muss talk about three-level scores all the time. He can hit the three. He's got a very elite mid-range game. Very strong, taking it to the rim, can finish through contact. Just very dynamic in everything he can do offensively. Really good ball handler, probably at the college level. I will say he'll be like a secondary ball handler type. But, you know, just incredible basketball knowledge offensively, too, to go along with all of that. Great footwork, can create his own shot, can score in any number of ways. So really, looking at his class and the 2022 class, and really just in general, one of the most gifted offensive players I've ever seen at the high school level. And then you add to that with really good length and a willingness to play defense. You know, he's still pretty young, so he's got a lot of room to grow his physique and that sort of thing. My one knock on him right now is kind of his size, but again, that's nothing. That's not his fault. That's just his age at this point. But once he gets into a college strength and conditioning program and all that sort of stuff, he'll get a little bulk built on him, and he'll still be a legit defender at the next level because he's got all the speed, the instincts, the IQ, and the drive to play good defense too. He's more aggressive offensively, taking it to the rim. Sometimes he can shy away from contact, but he is willing to box out and try to grab some rebounds. But again, once he gets some more size on him, I'm sure he'll be more willing to engage in those battles with some bigs.
So, I mean, he's a scorer first and foremost, and it sounds like he's the kind of player that when he gets to Arkansas, he's a featured scorer. You know, and I know Moses was too, but the offense wasn't just built around Moses Moody because he was a kind of a do-everything player. You know, even coming in as a freshman, we always commented on how he just seemed to play older than his age, and that even extended into high school too. But with Smith, it really sounds to me like the way you're describing him is he comes to campus, he is the featured scorer when he gets there. But this is also a great, I mean, this class that Muss has for 2022, you know, does Smith's ability to score stand out even amongst them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's not a knock on any of the other guys. I mean, every single player that Eric Musselman has landed in this class and since he's been at Arkansas has been in the Rivals 150. So every single player that Musselman has signed or gotten a commitment from is a top-rated player. So it's not a knock on their ability at all, but there's just a level and an ability that Nick Smith has and a level that he's at that just really does stand out compared to everybody else.
And obviously, this being Nick Smith being another high-quality recruit that Eric Musselman has brought in and has just taken not only the transfer portal but now recruiting by storm. Is there a cooler coach in all of college basketball?
No, I mean that's one of the easiest questions you can throw at me. I mean, and I'm honestly saying this and trying to be as completely non-biased as possible. I mean, he's sitting there posting videos coming out of a private jet, talking about landing a commitment from a 5-star. He's got the whole staff jumping into pools and stuff at night, fully clothed, celebrating this. I mean, it's not just a coolness factor, but it's just an understanding factor, understanding the landscape, how to use social media. And you look at all of the Twitter engagements by head coaches and by programs. Arkansas as a program is constantly at the top, and Coach Muss has been number one, I think, for 3 of the last 4 months, I think, on most engagements by college basketball head coaches. It's just he's popular, he's cool, and he understands how social media works and how important it is.
Yeah, he really does. And, I mean, the things that he's done with Barstool, that's really popular with the young folks and the kids nowadays. So he's really has, like you said, learned how to instead of like a lot of coaches see social media and all the outside noise as a threat, he's really learned and thrived at using it as a weapon. So great year last year, Elite 8 finish. What is a realistic expectation? I know we're just now not on the last day of September, but is it realistic to think that the floor for this team is to at least repeat an Elite Eight? Because that's hard to do. Just getting to the second week in a tournament, that's a lot to put on a team.
Yeah, it is a lot to put on a team, and especially expectation-wise. So I'll probably say that the floor is another second round or Sweet 16 appearance, just because once you get past the first round, or you're even in the first round, your matchups and everything, it's all a crapshoot. You could go against a really low-seeded team who snuck into the tournament by winning 8 of their last 10 games and has a bunch of momentum, and they're on a warpath. You can also go up against a mid-major school who just has a good matchup for your scheme. You just never know what matchup you're going to get, what draw you're going to get, any other upsets that might go along. Last year Arkansas was the beneficiary of a couple of upsets in the tournament. That's not to say Arkansas would not have beaten Ohio State or Florida or whoever else, or Virginia Tech, whoever else was in their bracket, had Oral Roberts not won and all that sort of stuff. But that's just the kind of stuff that shakes out in a tournament. I will say the roster this year is definitely more talented and better than last year's roster. So the potential is there for a Final Four run, regardless of tournament matchups, anything like that. But because of the nature of the tournament itself, I'll probably say floor is second round, Sweet 16.
That's still a great floor.
Well, and
absolutely, especially after program missed the Sweet 16 for 25 years in a row.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you had so many, players that were a major part of that team last year that end up, moving on to the next level, and really for the last 2 years that's been the case. So what we didn't know would happen last year, but what did happen was just the way that that team meshed. They bought into their roles, and they played their butts off for each other and for their coach. And I think that was obvious once you got into late January, middle of February, that's the way they were playing. You don't know what this, that's what you got to hope happens again. That this group of players, which includes guys that are coming in from other programs again, that are looking to get to, someplace they've never been before, like a Stanley Amude, like a Chris Likes. Like a Trey Wade. Hopefully he's able to come back from this injury. So, if there's a moment where it looks like this team this year is so well meshed the way that last year was, to me that says so much about this coach's ability and this coaching staff's ability to get groups of different players to buy in year after year. And again, that isn't as easy as it sounds.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you hit the nail on the head. The most important part of Musselman's whole system in recruiting transfers and recruiting high school talent is, at some point you have to have all of that talent mesh. Last year I think there were 10 new players on the roster, and they make an Elite Eight. That's just an insane level of getting players to play together, of talent meshing, of compatibility with the roster and all that sort of stuff. And it does stem directly from his experience in the G League. I'm not even going to try to say that stems from his NBA experience, because he's talked a lot about it stemming from his G League experience and I think the CBA experience, where, you get guys who are there for a week and then they get called up or they get hurt, and your roster is constantly fluctuating. You just got to kind of plug and play and see what happens. But that's a much quicker kind of turnaround on trying to get guys inserted in the lineups when you have a roster of 15 and then 2 of your starters get called up and then a couple players from the NBA get called down, and you're constantly trying to find the sweet spot of who to play, how to play them, all that sort of stuff. Having a new roster of 10 people in a kind of static roster for one season, it gives you the time to, I guess, play around with it and build that chemistry a little bit more. But it's the same premise. He's kind of an expert, and he has a bunch of experience in honing chemistry and finding chemistry on a quick turnaround.
And that experience has definitely shown through his time here at the University of Arkansas. Phil brought up the injury to Trey Wade, and there are some other injuries currently on this team. Are there any of them that you might be a little weary of or you're cautious about possibly affecting the start of the season?
I honestly wouldn't really be too worried at this point, especially the way that Musselman talked about him in the press conference. Just a little bit of nagging thing here and there with Jalen and with KK and Trey Wade. I think Tony went down at the first practice, but I think his injury too is just something fairly minor. But aside from that, no, I really don't think it's anything to be concerned about, especially at the start of the season. Let them heal up. Practice just started, the full practice and all that sort of stuff just got started, so not too worried about it.
Jackson, you got a feeling on Jordan Walsh, kid from Branson? I know that there's one scholarship left. He might fit pretty well. What's your feeling on him?
I think at this point there's reason for optimism from Hog fans. There was a point over the summer when he was playing really well at Peach Jam that I thought that he might be committing any day to Arkansas. But then he was doing so well, he kept getting more offers, scheduling more visits, and so I never really thought that meant Arkansas was out of the picture. I just thought it might delay his announcement. So he put on his Instagram story a few weeks ago he's probably going to announce around mid to late October. I think he still has a visit to Kansas, I think, next weekend, but or maybe the weekend after next. But either way, I think there is reason for optimism there.
Jackson, we'll leave it there. Appreciate you hopping on with us. Do great work over there at Hog Beat and with the JC Hoops podcast, and let's do it again when we get closer to the season.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
You got it.
Appreciate it, Jackson.
Appreciate you. This is Jackson Collier. He's part of the Rivals Network, hogbeat.com, and the JC Hoops podcast. Hey, still got time to get out there pond and creek fishing in Arkansas. Nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like the Rebel Crick Hopper. Twitch it, pop it, walk it, swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. Archie Bunker even used it himself. The Crick Hopper also works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels, 4 or 6 pound fishing line, and you'll find the Crick Hopper at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. You go ahead and play the high note with Gene Stapleton, shattering windows across the natural state. We'll come right back.
Phil Elson and Ty Richardson are behind enemy lines in Athens this weekend.
Gentlemen, I want to make one thing clear before we leave.
Their safety is secured by Reed's Metals of Benton.
Any man who doesn't wish to join this mission, step away right now.
Additional protection comes from Big Red Stores in Central Arkansas.
All right, then. Let's go get our boy back.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources, where it's finally time for our end of summer clearance. We've been busy all summer helping more people than ever get the nicer, newer cars they need, and now it's time to flip our inventory. Over 120 Rath Road Ready cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to save you money now. Some with discounts up to $4,800 below retail. Plus, we're putting every deal together with extra for trades and fast, easy financing through the top local credit unions and the nation's best banks and lenders. If you've been waiting for the best time to buy a premium pre-owned vehicle, now is the time, and Rath Auto Resources is the place. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, and up to $100 rebate when you use your Meineke credit card. Get the nicer, newer car you've been wanting today and save up to $4,800 during the end of summer clearance at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
The Peter Pender Zone of Wave Rural Connect is open.
That fiber internet, phone, and TV service you've been hearing so much about is now available for areas south of the Arkansas River, to Coxville, to east of Cecil, and over to Roseville, with amazingly fast internet starting at $49.95 a month. Call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online to signup.waveruralconnect.com to get signed up. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities that we serve.
In the mood for a top shelf night? 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of our delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is growing and looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building experience or you have welding skills, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay, health, dental, and vision benefits. Join the top fence building team in the state. The Fence Man. Apply today in person. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Let Carco Car Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car. Carco Auto Sales has been serving the River Valley in eastern Oklahoma for over 40 years and believe in fair prices, superior service, and treating people right. The friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help you find the car you deserve, priced right to fit your budget, so you can leave with a peace of mind knowing that you are getting a quality, well-maintained vehicle. Come see the team at Carco Auto Sales, formerly Hertz Car Sales, at 2810 Midland Boulevard today. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out at buyfromcarco.com. Carco Auto Sales, when you're ready.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Baby, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me.
Start every Saturday with Arkansas Game Day 5 hours before kickoff. Presented by Randall Ford and Bud Light. Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and Drew Barrett.
We're headed behind enemy lines this weekend as the Hogs take on the Georgia Bulldogs in Athens. Ty will be there. I will be there. It's brought to you by Big Red Stores in Central Arkansas. Find your nearest location at bigredstores.net. Now more convenient than ever. Drew, there used to be a television show that was based in Cincinnati about a radio station.
Ooh.
You're listening to the intro.
Did you know I work
right
at a radio
here.
station? So I feel like I would find a pretty common theme there. I feel like I would like it.
WKRP Cincinnati.
Now, Phil, when you were a kid, did you gravitate towards television shows and things about radio?
Well, news radio is the only other one I know
That's the one
about.
I was thinking of, too, but I loved that show as a kid.
I've never seen that one
With
either.
Phil Hartman. Man,
The
it was
Mary
great.
Tyler Moore Show was about a TV station. So.
Well, there was Frasier. It was he was a radio host.
He was true.
But I never
Radio
liked the
program.
show, though.
Not a big Frasier guy?
Not a big Frasier guy. I didn't even like him on Cheers.
What?
I just liked when he did the episode about bouillabaisse. It's the only thing I liked about him.
I've never seen that episode.
Anyway,
or
I feel
really
you've been,
Frasier.
You've been slightly educated today on some.
I have.
70s TV shows.
Now, you've told me about the theme music. Which of these shows do I actually need to watch if I can?
Taxi.
Taxi's great.
Taxi's
Taxi?
highly entertaining.
Is that one with Andy Kaufman in it?
Yes, and
Christopher
Lloyd and Danny
Lloyd.
DeVito.
Yeah. Okay.
Tony Danza
Yeah.
playing Tony for the first time. And of course, he was always Tony after that.
He's the boss.
Yeah, he is. Is he?
He was.
Who is? I don't know.
I mean, who is the boss? We don't know.
Glad you know about that one.
That's the big question mark.
See,
Who
this is
the boss?
This is why Matty I assigned shows from the 70s instead of the 80s, because most of these I don't think he's ever heard of.
Well, so there's been a couple of them where I'm like, oh, really? Because Drew is pretty good about pop culture. and
I
stuff.
try to be.
Growing Pains, he wasn't familiar with. That's goes into the 80s and the 90s, I think. But then Welcome Back, Kotter was surprising. I thought that's one everybody was familiar with.
I haven't been familiar with that. I mean, obviously, like I know Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and some of the other ones that used to get played on Nick at Night.
Well,
and
Growing
stuff like
Pains
that.
did too.
It was
Growing
on
Pains-
Nick at Night.
It may have been like the Disney Channel.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna feel really. This is good. This is the best television music you'll ever listen to. I don't even know if TV theme songs are a thing anymore.
Well, I was thinking.
I come to find out. I guess I was starting to think about this when you mentioned this the other day, Maddie, that the new Wonder Years doesn't
have the "What Would You Do If I Sang Out to You?"
Come on, they don't even have the Joe Cocker song.
You know, I was thinking. I wonder if a reason for that is the ability now when people are binge watching stuff, you can
Just skip intro.
Because I'm watching The Sopranos now, and every time.
It's the greatest invention of all television.
I skip it. It's like that's a great opening, but I don't need to see it every single time if I'm binge watching. So I skip it. I skip
Travis in Fayetteville texts in and reminds me that one of the main characters on WKRP was from Arkansas, and I think he actually died just a month or two ago. And
like
so
his characters from Arkansas, or
his characters from Arkansas.
Oh,
and
that's
so
cool.
and so he had a I think it might have been the actor that was from Arkansas, but there was a Razorback coffee mug. That was sort of always there in the set.
Oh, that's cool.
They did also have a character with the last name Travis, so I always appreciated that.
You did?
Yeah.
Any relation?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You guys got plans this weekend? 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge is the place to go, by the way. They're open till midnight tonight, 1 o'clock tomorrow and Saturday. And Facebook page for all of their specials and events. Will Mendenhall is playing his soulful and bluesy guitar and vocals tonight. 906lounge.com, the website. Find all their top shelf spirits, hand-rolled cigars, great food, and all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a classy night out. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, 906 Garrison Avenue, Fort Smith.
One call left.
We got a call. That's right. JW's on hold here. JW, I apologize. We went off a little bit there.
That's fine.
Started.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Got a little
before
you got about 30 seconds. Go for it.
Okay, before I get started, I got an assignment for Drew. He needs to watch it. He needs to watch Play Misty for me. That's a radio show, but it's by a killer director. As far as for the rest of the stuff, I love hog football. I love hog basketball, but I really love music. And here's an interesting thing. There was a music star in the 70s. His name was Chris Christopherson, who was actually a better actor than he was a music star, and he was incredible at writing songs.
That's right.
Now, so what? Musselman is not going to be that guy at Saban. He's not going to stay here for 100,000 years. What if he won 3 or 4 national championships and decided to become a film star like you all were talking about this morning?
Well,
I could just see that happening.
Whoever's in charge of his Twitter account, I think that's thoughts for him. And JW, appreciate the call. Back with you tomorrow. For Maddie, for Drew, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.